What is going on, everybody? It's Alex and Jay here from
Beyond Average Show.
And today we're coming to you with another episode. What are we going to talk about today?
So today in episode 8, we're going to be talking the losses to gain.
Guys, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for being there for us. Let us know in the comments what else you want to talk about. And before we start today's episode, please, I'm going to put our socials right on top of Jary's head, right here. You can go follow us on TikTok. You can go follow us on Instagram, and we're very fun. I'll put a very fun clip for you right here too, so you can see how much fun we are over there. So go follow us, find us there, interact with us, and let us know in the comments what else you want to talk about.
Yes.
So tell us, let's start today.
All right, so let's get right into it with you. Why don't you start first? What are some of your losses that you had to endure to gain something in the end?
Honest to God, when I first started reading these notes for today, she wants to go deep. So let's go deep. Let's be a little bit vulnerable. Okay. So here's the thing. You guys know how much I love Tony, right? Mm-hmm. You know who, Tony?
Tony Robbins.
Tony who?
Tony Robbins.
Okay. Okay. So he has this saying again. And I was holding this up for later on, but I'll say it now since we went there. Mm-hmm. It says, when people win, party. When people lose, start to ponder. Which means when everything goes right into your life, you don't notice the things that they go wrong. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't pay like, okay, you're like on top of the world. You're like, I'm the best. I'm a winner. Nothing can break me. But when we mess up and we screw up and we get blindsided sometimes, like it really hits us.
Yeah.
And we start thinking, what did I do wrong? Mm-hmm. So that is something really important. You got to realize, no matter how hard life slaps you in the face, you got to ask yourself, what did I mess up? What did I do wrong? What can I do better? Why this time I messed up so bad? You know. So this is when we start to self-reflect when we mess up.
Yep. So what are some examples?
Personal
examples.
I will give you some. The reason I preface this way is because it's a part of life that you cannot skip. Like 100% you'll go through that, okay? And you should embrace it and welcome it in your life. So what loss? Okay. What did I have to lose? Let me think. How about you start?
Okay. Again.
Tell us.
So unprepared.
People are waiting.
So, all right. So I wrote down just 3 big ones that I could think of that was just the most, right now in my life, the most impactful. Mm-hmm. So I, as you guys will, come to know me, am a mom of 3. Mm-hmm. And I unfortunately was in a relationship at a very young age. We had kids. It didn't go so well. Mm-hmm. I had to end it. Okay. And I was a single mom for 5.5 years. Mm-hmm. Now, the loss of that relationship was very hard, but I gained something better and healthier for me in my life in the end. Mm-hmm. And now for me, taking that loss, which was a huge loss for me at the time, breaking up my family and such. I had to entail lonely nights, being by myself, heartaches, struggles in many areas of my life for being a single mom. But in the end, I ended up gaining a wonderful, more perfect man for me in my life.
That's me?
It's you.
Oh, okay.
But I had to lose something to gain it in the end. Another thing that I had was, just having kids. You're being selfless all the time. You're losing some of you all the time. But the privilege and the woman you become from being a mom, it gives you something that you gain in life for being that incredible mom and woman that you can be. And I don't really know how to explain it because being a mom is so powerful, and it's such a powerful, great bond you have with kids. It's so hard too. So, but you have to lose a lot in order to have that role.
I know.
But it's totally worth it. And so the last one I'll share is just recently me, and I'll be graduating soon, but me going back to school about 4 years ago. And it definitely entailed me losing my freedom. I couldn't be out hanging out with my friends and family as much as I used to. I couldn't sit there and have luxury time watching TV and all that stuff. I was always in the books and being a mom, and in the beginning I had worked, and then anyways, I don't now. But anyways, it still required a lot of losses so that way I can gain that degree. And that degree will open up the doors for me that I wouldn't have without it. And also an experience that I'm so grateful that I got to experience and that opportunity. Again, I had to lose. Oh, and also I had a brand new car before I went to school, and I ended up having to trade that in and bought a used car so that way I could financially be stable while I went to school. So again, there's so many things I had to sacrifice, but to gain something bigger in the end. I hope that gave you time to think about yours.
It definitely did. You are always so good at things. You say something and then you expect me to say something as powerful as that. Okay. So I'll tell you. I thought of something. So leaving Greece to come here, that was a hard decision. Okay. And I was really following my heart. And by here, I'm in the US. But you leave a lot of things behind. First and foremost, you leave comfort of your parents' house, comfort of, this last thing. If nothing goes the right way there, you can always go sleep with mommy and daddy, like most people do. And it's something to fall back on. But the moment you decide to leave all this behind, it's really scary.
Yeah.
But you do it because you see on the other end. You do it because I did it because if I didn't do it, and I won't talk with generalities, if I didn't do it, I would blame myself forever if I didn't go for it.
Yeah.
Down the line, It's just, you got to listen to your heart. And I mean, in the moment, things feel very, very rough. They feel, and it really feels like you don't know what you're doing because you don't.
Right.
You figure it out as you go, and you pray it's going to work out. And you put your head down and work and work and work. And maybe within that process, sometimes you lose yourself as well.
Yeah.
And you hope that things will work out. And things did work out. I met you. I'm financially stable. Thank God. Things are great. We're moving forward together. But you have to listen to your heart more than you listen to your brain.
Yeah.
And it's hard because these two voices are always within you all the time. All the time. It's like, oh, what if I get hurt? Oh, what if I... your brain is always trying to protect you. Our brains existed before we developed all these new era kind of instincts, and they try to prevent us from getting hurt one way or another. That's the main purpose of the brain. Hey, don't touch the stove, it's hot.
Defense mechanisms.
Exactly. And these were there before we started developing this refined language and this refined kind of relationship with others. So this is a point to tell you that you shouldn't always listen to your brain. Although it serves a purpose to keep you alive, sometimes your heart knows best.
Is that the only...
Yeah, I'll say that. Do you have another one? And I'll share too.
No, those are the top 3 things that really...
Okay. So yeah, living Greece was one. Number 2, well, yeah, since we weren't there. Number 2 is living single life. I, like everybody else, was an active person. I'll close your mic. Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough, especially when you're in your 20s. You feel like you know better than anybody else. You feel like you're smarter. You feel like you're invincible, and this can get very high very fast, and thinking that you cannot make mistakes. So I was very active, whatever, Tinder, whatever other socials that are there, up until I met you, And when I met you and we decided to get married, I had to think if I want to proceed like that or not. And in the beginning, I wasn't even quite sure if that was the best choice. But now I thank myself and you every day in God that this went this way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. In the moment, though, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even see it as a loss or as a win or as a gain.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that when you face this fork down the road, you either have to choose to go right or left, because if you keep going straight, you'll crash both ways.
Yeah.
So you got to make the choice and believe that you made the right one. Even if it seems in the moment that you're losing things, down the road, it's going to pay off. I promise you. I promise you it will. I'm a living example that it does. She's a living example as well.
And I'm sure that there's things in your life that you can reflect on and like, oh man, yeah, that makes sense. Like I had to lose that to gain that at the time. And you just have to reflect, like Alex was saying. Sometimes you have to like really look back and then remind yourself that it's not like that you're losing something, that it's something that you're investing in to gain something in the end. It might feel like that at the moment, but you have to look at those past times where it felt like that then, and you ended up gaining something in return.
Yeah.
So
let me share another one. That's more general, but I feel is the reason I am where I am in life right now. You know, when you are around people quite some time, that might be your relationship or your parents or your friends, subconsciously you lower your standards, because if you're doing good and they're not, or the other way around, they're doing good and you're not, you don't want to make them feel bad about themselves. Okay. So you have to realize that when you like people except a few, like your other half or your kids, they serve a purpose in your life, but sometimes you might outgrow them or you might go in two different paths. So letting go of people themselves, I don't mean like shutting them off. I mean knowing that they serve the purpose in your life and you serve them purpose in their life, and then this closed. It's done.
yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I had in my notes to say this, but I heard somewhere, and it's always stuck with me, that there are things or people in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Ooh, and you have to remember that, because, you know, not necessarily all things you have to permanently take out of your life. Some things are there forever. It's going to change in the balance in the time that you devote to it. But for some things you do have to let go. And that's so that way you can gain and be something bigger and better in the future. No,
like literally when now living that single life, I would go out, I would spend like $300, $400 a night. And then I would have friends that they would spend double that. And I was like, damn, man, I work the entire week for this money. Why did I do this? So you do it once, you do it twice, but you cannot keep doing this.
Oh, so you married me to save money?
Yeah, you saved me a lot of money. And tax credits, plenty of tax credits if you file jointly and you have kids, guys. But yeah, you're definitely a money-saving machine.
Not funny.
I appreciate that.
Oh, crazy.
She's the best. So yeah, it's. I mean, this is a big chapter. Okay, we don't want to let this just fly over your head, because you will lose and you will have pain in your life. Okay, you will. Like, I wish I could tell you that life is roses, and I wish I could tell you that you're a princess or you're a prince and you're gonna go out there and you're gonna live the perfect life like the movies. But it won't be like that. And you have to look into the mirror and be like, hey man, you messed up here. You gotta pick up yourself and be like, let's do this better.
Yep. All right, so you ready to move on?
I'm always ready.
So I'm just gonna read something from one of my school textbooks about the necessary losses. And also I want Alex to put a picture of Judy Vorst. I think I'm saying her name right.
She got divorced, you said?
But Vorst. Okay. Anyways, he'll put it somewhere here with his magic. So she's in her...
I cannot believe you wrote this up here.
What?
Damn, guys. The first point says, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Yep. Please smash it and subscribe. Yep. And then hit that bell to get notified every time we upload a video, okay?
Yep.
We love you. And we've been so real with you. So tell us.
So in her now classic book, Necessary Losses, Judith Vorse writes that for every transition we experience or every choice we make to do something new, we also lose something. We must leave things behind when we move on. For example, the child who can hardly wait to start school has to confront the reality of leaving the security of home. Or the adult who is beginning a new relationship might have to face the end of interactions with friends and relatives from a previous relationship. The same holds true for the transition from being single to getting married, leaving school for the world of work, being childless to having children, and being employed to finally retiring. There truly are necessary losses for many of life's changes. When a door opens to a new phase in life, some things must be left behind. To gain the benefits of that come with a new phase in life. It is often necessary to make sacrifice in other areas. This holds true even when change is one that is highly desired and a conscious choice. The idea of necessary losses is especially important because new decisions in life are made on the basis of being 100% sure about the right course of action. More often, we have to make decisions with limited information based on 60/40 split. When the part of us that does want to do something new reaches a majority, we usually go ahead and make that change. The part that didn't want to the change, however, may demand acknowledgement and compensation. That is the nagging little voice that expresses reservations after the fact and chides you for the losses associated with particular course of action you chose. Therefore, it will help to facilitate the process of change if you acknowledge and grieve the losses. Those who have truly considered what they are giving up are usually better able to incorporate the positive elements of moving on to the next stage.
Woohoo!
So what do you think about that?
I think that you deserve an applause. Good job. Okay, so this is 100% true. Like what she says is pretty much that at every stage of life, you lose something to gain something.
Yeah.
And while you do this trade-off, you better make sure that what you lose is worse than what you gain.
Yeah.
You know? So like it happens all the time. The question is if you're moving upwards in life or downwards.
Yeah, that's so true.
You know?
I really appreciate the part where she talks about grieving over loss is going to make it easier for you to move forward. Like, yes, you're going to have that sadness about losing that one thing and you are going to miss it. But when you move forward, you're going to be able to accept it more if you accept that and also know that you're going to be sad over it, but you're going to still move on nevertheless.
Yes. And after grieving, you got to find this certainty and you need belief. You need faith. You need, when nothing goes right within yourself, you got to find this strength and certainty and faith with whatever you are so much more spiritual than me, your creator, whatever it is, to believe that things will get better and you're gonna, what's coming is better than what's left.
Yep. So true.
Otherwise you have like no will to live.
Yep.
So that's 100% true. That's a cool article. Maybe we can include it.
It's not an article. It's part of a textbook. Yeah. But her book though, this is based off of her book. So I told Alex to put his magic in the image. Pop it up here.
So did you tell them? It says here, human relations, a game plan. That's the one?
Yeah, we'll put in the link.
Okay.
The description. So the quote of the day, for everything you have missed, you have gained something else. And for everything you gain, you lose something else. You want to say that again?
Yes. Thank God I have my notes on. For everything you have missed, you have gained something else. And for everything you gain, you lose something else. What do you have to say about this?
I think that personally, that's always been the case for me in my life. I don't know about you guys, and you can write if you agree in the comments if you do agree. But I think for everything that I've had to, the new levels of my life, I had to let go of something. And I definitely, a lot of those things I missed. You know, when you're transitioning to that new you, that new growth of yourself, there's some things that you don't want to let go. You know, you're not ready to let go. You don't want to because you're comfortable because of what you have to sacrifice to gain that new level of you. So, but I know that it's necessary. And I know that if I want to gain something, I have to lose it.
Do you know what dawned on me now? Us humans are weird, man. Because all over nature, like snakes don't think twice about shedding their skin. They're like, oh, if I lose the skin now, I don't know if I'll get a new one. Or like, you know, anywhere in the entire, animal kingdom, nobody cries over what they lose. But us humans, our brain gets always in the way. And we're like, oh, I don't want to lose the comfort of this right now. Like, look at birds. Like, oh, screw that, it's cold here. Like, oh, no, we won't leave Boston because we are used to the place. Like, let's go somewhere warmer. It's only us that we take so much time deciding to forget the comfort of now to get something better.
Well, both you and me have read that book, The Power of Habits. And I feel like we're creatures of habit.
Yeah, whoever gave you this suggestion, great guy.
You did. Okay. But yeah,
The Power of Habit, actually. Yeah, let's put it here so they can read it too.
We'll talk about that in a couple weeks.
Okay, so it's coming up, but
we won't get into it right now.
But if you guys want to get ahead and know what we're going to talk about, The Power of Habit.
Yeah. All right, so we're just going to give you some examples of what we're talking about with loss, which we've already given you some great examples, but let's go more in depth. So let's talk about comfort, which we already did an episode on comfort zones, but losing comfort. So sometimes I know for me, like this I can relate to, but like talking publicly, like I hated that. Like I knew that I had to break that, but I also had to lose my comfort in order to do that. Like putting yourself out there for love. Alex gave a great example of his situation, but he had to lose his comfort and his fun days in order to...
My days with you are still fun.
But I'm talking about your little, Tinder, social, your active days, as you put it, to gain something.
Good.
Your relationship with a husband or like I said about my mom roles, you have to lose a lot of your comfort, a lot of your wants to do for yourself in order to gain something bigger and more valuable in the end, which is love, relationships, or just a self goal. It could be as small as talking publicly.
And you know what? This is like a muscle too. I never said that on that episode, but it just dawned on me. Getting out of your comfort zone, it's like a muscle. The more you do it, the more you want to do it. Yeah. The more you avoid it, it's just like a muscle that atrophies or gets stronger every time you use it.
Exactly.
Like you got to
point.
You got to keep trying to get out of your comfort zone.
So, do you want to? Yeah.
So the second thing is says losing wants. Now here is the thing with wants, right? All of us in life want things, and we really want sometimes we get these cravings, like we crave this food, we crave this X, we crave this that, we crave this, and some things are healthy for you. That burger that you want to eat isn't healthy. Maybe that X of yours isn't healthy. Maybe you gotta move on, and because you want it doesn't mean you need it. So your wants are not your needs, and your wants don't necessarily mean that they're gonna move you forward. What you want right now might not be what you need, and more importantly, what you want right now, it might not even be what you deserve. You might deserve much, much better than that.
Right.
So make in your brain that trade-off and be like, hey, you know what? I need to go through that rabbit hole and get out the other end stronger, and I'll decide not to get like this instantly gratified.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. If the gratification, the short and long-term gratification episode, if you haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah. Although she hasn't edited yet, but obviously this has to come up.
It's going to come out.
Before. Okay.
So next one, losing people.
Mm-hmm.
Like Alex mentioned some of the things he had to lose, like the people in his life that he had to, like distance himself from. Not only like leaving the whole entire country too. Sometimes like he had to definitely, and it probably was really hard, and it's not the same as being close to it, but he did it for a bigger purpose. Or maybe they're just not on the same level as you anymore. Maybe it's friends that you grew up with and you ended up making different choices in life and you parted ways and stuff. And even though you miss that person, they're just not on the same page with you. They're not on the same level as you. You guys don't share the same values in life anymore. So you have to cut that person off, because it's if they're dragging you down, or if you're not on the same page, it's going to pose a problem eventually.
And I don't really think like anybody drags you down, and I don't really think that you can blame anybody. And I know you agree, but you cannot blame anybody for being who they are. But you might want more from life, and you got to get out of that pool of people wanting less. It's as simple as that. There is nothing wrong with you or them, okay? But they will outgrow you, and you might outgrow some people, and some people will outgrow you.
Right.
Or they have different priorities too. This happens too. Some people, they really want to be devoted in family. That's it. Family is all they have. They don't want any more money. They're happy with $50,000 a year. They're the happiest they can ever be. And it's a done deal. You can not tell them anything.
Which is fine.
Exactly. Like it's your blueprint for life.
Yeah. What do you want? So the next you want to, oh yeah, definitely. You're talking about this.
Losing money. Well, number one rule of money is never lose money, but it's unavoidable.
Losing to gain, though. That's what we're talking about.
I know. But I had to slip this in. Okay. So losing money. Okay. I love talking about money.
That's why I said this is all his part.
Okay. So losing money. Here's the thing. This is how you learn again. In the stock market or whatever it is, you think you know. Again, I'm telling you, like there is something about the human brain that we think we know. We just think we're better than other people's opinions. We just think internally, right? So you go out there, you invest $1,000, you lose it. How do you feel? You feel like you got to gain more knowledge, so you never lose money again. So you use this pain to your advantage. You have to use that pain of loss, anything it is, but we're talking about money, to get better. So here's the situation. If you lose money and you see like, hey, you know what? I messed up, man. I bought $1,000 worth of scratch tickets and I didn't win anything. And now my family won't be able to pay rent. You got to sit down and again, talk to yourself. Be like, hey, man, you got to do better than that. And the only circumstances that this happens again is when we feel the pain.
Yeah.
So another thing, though, is here. Losing money is one thing. Putting money aside or investing it somewhere and not having it right now instantly for something better in the future is not losing it, is investing it, okay? So investing money in such a way, although you cannot get that flat screen TV right now, but you might double your money in 1 year.
Yeah.
That's a trade-off that most of us should make.
Right.
Another thing is, it's so crazy. Like I said, I don't know which episode, but I said, if you start investing at your 401k early, the returns you can see because of compound interest, which means interest over time, are unimaginable. But when you're in your 20s, guess what you do? You never think about your 401k because you don't care about your retirement. But if you invest a tiny bit now and you think you lose it because you won't have to spend it,
right,
you'll gain tremendous amounts.
Exactly. Good points.
Yeah, of gains. So keep investing, guys, and don't lose money.
And the last example, which we can keep going on and on about this topic, but losing yourself to find yourself. I know Alex
That's so deep.
just mentioned how he did the same thing. So just why don't you shed some light on that?
Ooh. Well, I spoke too much. Do you want to say first?
No, you can.
Okay. Every area of life and every quite some time, all of us will have to redefine ourselves. I don't know if it's losing yourself or redefining yourself or dropping what doesn't serve you anymore. That is such a big chapter. Some things don't serve us in life anymore. It's as simple as that. They were perfect for the time being, if it's people or things or whatever it is, knowledge, but you don't need this anymore and you gotta drop it. You got to redefine yourself. You gotta lose this part of yourself to make room for the new. If there is no room for the new in your life, there is nowhere for it to be. You know?
Exactly.
So you got to open up some room. You got to go out there, like honest to God, there is nothing better than redefining yourself. The power you can see there in people that they mess up and then they come back stronger, better. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And for me, what this means to me is like, I never felt like I gotten stronger from things always being perfect. I always felt like I got stronger because I had to sacrifice something. So sacrifice myself, sacrifice my wants, my desires in order to gain something better in the future. And that's where I really found myself. I found what I was capable of, everything I could do for the long term. And also a lot of that came from a lot of downfalls, a lot of being in dark places in my head, because I felt like I couldn't reach what I wanted to gain. And in the midst of, those dark places and being sad and stuff, I ended up getting out of it and getting into some light and also seeing what I was capable of in the interim. So through those transitions is exactly where I found myself and lost myself to find myself.
So what advice would you give to people that they maybe they're going through a dark path right now? What advice would you give them?
That you could do it. That, yes, I would say feel whatever you're feeling right now. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to yell, yell. If you want to get sad, be sad, but don't stay there long. Get back up as soon as you can and keep pushing through, because you can do hard things. And I'm a part of Elevation Church. I don't know if you guys know. It's a popular church, global church worldwide on the internet right now. And Pastor Holly Furnick, I love her. She's such an inspiration. But she, during one of her sermons, she's like, you can do hard things. You can do hard things. And that just really spoke to me at a time where I felt like I couldn't. And I needed that reminder. So just like she reminded me, I would remind other people, you can do hard things. You can do the losses that are necessary in order to gain in the end.
Wow, that's good. And don't lose faith.
Yeah, definitely don't lose faith in the creator or whoever your creator is. I respect all cultures, all different opinions and all that stuff. But whoever that is for you, for me, it's God, and I know His great power.
And I really want to stress this out. When nothing goes right in your life, nothing works as it should, and you feel you've been stretched so thin you cannot handle anymore, this is the only thing you got right this very moment is your faith. Your faith that you'll come out on the other end in one piece and things will be better. Yeah. So don't ever, ever, ever lose faith. This is all you have.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's
smash
talk about...
that like button. I keep saying this, but you guys don't do it. Keep smashing. Okay?
So now
tell them.
Smash the like button.
Tell them to hit that notification bell too.
And the notification bell.
And what else they have to do?
Subscribe.
You see? She get it smarter. Okay.
So now let's talk about you made all these losses, but what did you gain? Let's talk about what you can gain from doing all these losses. So I'll just start since I did number 1 last time. So I may have lost my comfort for speaking publicly, but guess what? Now I could speak in public boldly and confidently. I may have been uncomfortable having babies and all that stuff, but I put up with the sleepless nights, the selfless care, I have to put this person and prioritize this person in my life because I made this person. And I became a mom, which is the most, great role that you can have in life. I became a wife, and I'm learning how to be a better wife and person from marriage, let me tell you. So I lost my comfort, but I gained all those things in return.
That is so good. I hope you guys getting some value out of this, man. That's why we started this thing. We really want to share like maybe personal stories or ways so we can speak to you in any way we can. Let us know in the comments if you guys get any value from this. Number 2, you may have lost what you wanted, but you gained discipline. Oh man.
So we're talking about the wants part.
But what you wanted might not even be what you deserve, like I said. But you see, like I'm gonna say the same thing again, but it is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the more disciplined you become. And then I don't know, I wish I could tell you exactly how many days in or how much time you need to get through that. But here's the thing. At some point, the things that you didn't enjoy, you start enjoying them. That broccoli that you didn't enjoy, you start enjoying it.
Yeah,
that workout that you hated, you start enjoying
that's
it.
so true.
So here's the thing. In the beginning, it's hard. But then every time you pass by and you see some fried food, you're like, damn, how could I eat that thing? It makes me feel worse. So at some point, that shift happens and you start enjoying things you used to hate.
Yeah, so true.
So like you got to keep plowing through and sticking with it.
Yep.
So that's the thing. You might lose what you want, that delicious, amazing chip or that amazing dessert. And don't get me wrong, here and there you should do it, but not every day.
Right.
But you're gaining discipline and you're getting self-confidence that you can do it.
Right.
Nobody else can give you that.
Right. Exactly.
It's within yourself.
Exactly. So number 3, so gaining, like if you had to lose a certain people in your life, so
throw them away.
Like if it's a bad relationship, like an ex or something, what did you lose? You lost, you had a heartache, you lost that person, but you gain your self-worth. You gained something, a person that you truly deserve, somebody that's going to compliment you, not somebody who's going to condemn you.
Relationships are hard.
Also, like if it's friends or something that you had to walk away from because, again, the levels weren't on the same page. You learn from those relationships and you bring them to other relationships, and you also build on top of that with people who are now on your level, and you can go deeper. Okay, so this means going back to when we were talking about losing people because they're not on the same level as you anymore. You can take whatever you got from those relationships into other relationships that people are on the same level as you. And you can also embrace that relationship better, being at a different level and now, in the same place as the people around you. And it's just a more stronger, more valuable thing when you're walking with people that are on the same page with you, have the same values in life as you, want the same things, and have similar aspirations. But yeah, that's it. Number 4.
Number 4, losing money to gain money. Okay.
So what you talked about with
I just said that, but I mean, I'm telling you, like it's not losing money if you invest it, but what you lose if you invest money is the money right now. That instant kind of spending, that instant kind of gratification.
Yeah.
So you gotta invest it and think ahead.
Yeah.
And you gotta invest in things that bring you money. not things that they. So like real quick, 101 investing. Invest in assets, not liabilities. Invest in things that bring money in your wallet and not things that take money out of your wallet. That's it.
And you gain something in the long term.
Yeah.
So last point that I want to say to the losing yourself to find yourself, what you gain is you, who you want to be. And I'll just stop with my tips for this episode at saying this. You have to embrace where you're at in life, where you want to go, what you need to do to get there, and enjoy every step of the way, losing and grieving for the losses and prospering and building for what you'll gain in the future.
It's very good. It is a trait of choose your future self first, you know, just like you put your kids before, you just like choose you, and especially your future self a favor, you know. That's it. Do your future self a favor and do the right thing and lose something now to gain something better in the future.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So good.
Oh, so good. Okay. So with that said, guys,
smash that like button.
Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you. We kind of got the ball rolling. Now we kind of wrap ourselves and our heads around this together, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we hope you guys enjoy those. Let us know in the comments again what else you want to talk about. Please, please, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you're on Anchor, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
That's an inside joke because another we made.
Yep.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one, and we love you so, so, so
much. Bye.